have a government that seems not to be exactly what needs to be done. Like I would always tell people, I'm not interested in you doing your best.
Okay.
I'm interested in you doing required. And that's how I live my life.
Okay.
I necessarily don't give my best because at times your best is not just enough.
It's not enough.
But when you give it what it's required, we always can get things done right.
So, going forward, we really, really want to see some kind of change. We really need to see a change in the way security matters are being handled. We really want to see a change because we cannot keep having the same stories over and over again. It has now gotten to that point that when some sad stories break out, people just feel like, oh yes, again it happened. And people are just moving on, forgetting that this has to do with human lives. This is just another person who has just had to face something that should have been averted or not even happen in the first place. It is sad that this priest just had to lose his life in this way, such a debasing way. Really, really sad.
All right, so let's move away from that one to this other one you will find on the Vanguard newspapers. This one says alleged graft and treason. Tinubu Atiku seek each other's arrest and disqualification. The intrigues drilling the race for the presidency assumed a dangerous twist yesterday as the presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and his People's Democratic Party counterpart, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, called for the arrest and disqualification of each other over allegations of graft. Tinubu threw the first punch when he asked the security agencies in the country to invite, arrest, and interrogate and prosecute Alhaji Atiku Abubakar over what he described as Atiku Gate. Now, citing a video clip made by one Michael Achimego, said to be a former aide of the PDP standard bearer, Tinubu said Atiku, as vice president between 1999 and 2007, colluded with his then boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo, to operate an illegal account tagged Special Purpose Vehicles. Now, he accused the PDP-led administration between 1999 and 2007 of running a criminal enterprise, describing the era as the SPV years. Now, responding in kind, Atiku and the PDP described Tinubu as a convict who should not be in the presidential race, adding that Tinubu's alleged $460,000 drug money forfeiture was evidence of a crime. Now, if you take our time to read this full report, you would see a lot of allegations, a lot of, finger pointings and all of that. So for you to get the detailed allegations, you can actually read up this one on Vanguard newspapers. But this is where I'm going, Lubinko. I mean, there are so many, you did this, you stole this money, it was done this way, you should be arrested, you should be this, you should be that. How long are we going to do this for? I mean, election is how many weeks away? And we have this popping up left, right, and center. Every day we wake up to new stories of, you are the one, it is me, you're supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do this, you should be arrested, you don't deserve to be a candidate, and all of this. How long do we do this for?
Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy. The fact remains, Nigerians need to smarten up. It's a case that we are so debased that people that should not even have local government recognition are the ones with the national recognition. I was listening to Dino Melai yesterday on one of the programs, Politics Today, where he was actually even boasting that the most popular Nigerian today is his principal. I mean, a series of allegations. Yes, there's always that claim they've not been convicted. But at times, conviction or otherwise, you see, Yorubas will say, there's that adage that says no smoke without fire. We have frontliners who wants to lead our democracy, who wants to lead a corrupt leading country, who wants to lead a country on the purposes of falling. Yet the same people are the ones with, there's difference between corruption and corruption.
So what's the difference?
You see, when you just say corruption, at times you just, but corruption, the one you open your mouth to say corruption, these are guys who have big allegations.
Corruption is
ranging from drug peddling to big embezzlements. We hear about SPV and all of that. And yesterday, the anchor of the program was asking that these are big allegations. Will you go ahead to sue the person for libel?
Okay.
How would just something as big as that, a big libel case as that, slanderous case as that, be allowed to pass? It's not for me to decide whether they are guilty or not guilty. But as Nigerians, we must smarten up. I don't know how true that story is. That's the story of Joseph Stalin, who plucked out all the feathers of a chicken, and while the chicken was dripping with blood, he threw corn at it. And the funny thing is, the chicken ran back to him to seek warmth and appreciated him for feeding him corn. That seems the story of Nigerians. We are so bereft of ideas. We are so debased that we don't really know the meaning of loyalty. We think loyalty is, you should never be loyal to any human. Be loyal to principle. Whoever aligns with your principle is who deserves your loyalty. But here in Nigeria, what do we say? I was talking to my mother the other day, and we were having this discussion. And our reason for wanting to vote the person she wants to vote is that when I was jobless, it was because I was in that political party that I got a job. And I asked her, were you qualified to get the job? She said, of course, yes. You have your certificate and all of that. She said, yes. So why is it you must be a political party member for you to get a job? Politicians are there to lead us, not to entrap us as their slave. When you see political leaders that have really performed, the moment they leave office, they let go. Their tenure is over. But in Nigeria, we see people that has held us down in the name of building structures. Among them is beautiful. I'm happy that the one who has built no structure, who just did what ought to be done and did it right, those who did it for are structured today. Nigerians, we just need to wise up. The fact that these people are frontliners also shows that something is wrong with all of us mentally. And not our fault.
Okay.
You can't know more than what you know.
So let's tie it to this. Like you mentioned, saying that people should follow principle and not just the person. So let's look at it from this angle. What if it is a case of people having to evaluate? See, for some reason, you don't have to speak about your values all the time before people know that, this person over
this
time, this is
for.
what this person stands for. Even if, at least in my absence, there are some things you would ask Blessing about me that she can tell you, this one, Esther is not going to be in this mix. And there are some things you could ask me about Blessing as well that I will tell you, Blessing is most likely not going to be in this mix. So to an extent, each person has this part of them that people already know. So when I see people trying to defend certain things, I just take it that it is just a reflection of your values, of your person. And you cannot fight them for it. No. Until when people come to that that shift of mindset that, okay, maybe there's some kind of shift, there's still going to be a reflection of what it is. So you cannot tie it to them.
You just talked about you and Blessing. I mean, we don't work together, we don't live together, except maybe on days like this where I come here.
Yeah.
I'm very sure that you can give at least 30% account of what my personality will be based on our interaction. And that is how life is for everyone. Something happened to me Sunday evening.
Okay.
A guy just walked up to me and he was apologizing profusely. He said, last week he just sat and thought to himself, when this guy comes to the table, we are all talking, everybody seems to always be attacking him. And unfortunately, I keep attacking you too, just because I want to be a part of the majority.
Not because you understood why they were doing it.
But the funny thing is, his personal analysis of me, even towards him, this was someone who I didn't know, and I saw an opportunity, and just because I felt, I've met him only once, and it registered in my brain that this person, and I called him up. Unfortunately, the other opportunity didn't come true. So he said he sat down and analyzed. When someone older than you is actually apologizing, and you can see the genuine, everybody knows what you're saying. And to cut the long story short, he told me, you just continue being you. And that encouraged me. And that is life for you. The fact remains.
But people like that, for some reason, I'm not always comfortable with people like that.
No, it's, you see, like I would always tell my wife, you need to know how to use your friends and use your enemies as well for you to get to where you're going. Every human being is an asset to you, and that is how I see life. That is why you see me that I can have, based on my evaluation of you, I have an understanding of who I think you are. That guides my relationship with you.
Yes.
But if for any reason there's a value I need to get from you, I still want to get it. I look for a common interest at all times.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, as Nigerians, what do we stand for? What do we stand for? We are Nigerians. And the minute, I saw a post shared sometimes, I think on Sunday as well. It was predicting that by 2075, Nigeria would be the fifth economy in the world. It's listed all of them, and then the person that posted it, for all of you that never see good about Nigeria, this is it, even the international community. I said, no. When Nigeria had our independence, we had that projection as well. So projections, you work it to happen. In 1975, I probably wouldn't be living again. And if I'm living about close to my 100 years.
2075.
Yes, 2075.
Yes.
I'm close to my 200 years old. My first child by then should be planning to be a retiree. But what we do today is what would make that time a reality. We don't need 5-10 years for a change in Nigeria. We need a day. And that day is the day we have a good leader. If you remember when President Buhari came into power, the first 1 year, things seems to be picking up until probably out of respect for those, appreciation for those who got him into power, he had to let some things slide. Just the body language alone got everybody stiffened up until it was penetrated. He had not done anything. But just the body language, the image, the perception we had of him was already causing a paradigm shift in the operations of Nigeria. Now imagine people with so big allegations. We're complaining of our streets being flooded with drugs. The abuse of drugs is on the extreme high right now. We're complaining about young fraudsters my wife was telling me just on Sunday as well
Okay.
about a young boy of about 14 or 15 years old who probably is a Yahoo, or definitely is a Yahoo guy. Maybe not just a Yahoo guy, maybe a Yahoo plus plus now. He went to buy a car. And he was going to buy a very big car. And his friends, they were hailing and they were buying the 15, 16 years old. The world is the... Yesterday I saw a video, I don't know if you saw it, of students of Futo who built an aeroplane
No, I haven't
as
seen
his
that.
thesis. So he was test running it. He built an aeroplane. If care is not taken, that idea at the end of the day
We'll just die.
would leave Nigeria. I mean, it might not die.
Leave Nigeria.
It will leave
And maybe
Nigeria
flourish somewhere else.
and flourish somewhere else. We need good leadership. And Nigerians, you need to throw away sentiments. You need to throw away
For me, I
sentiments.
think I still have reservations about that. Yeah, we say sentiments, what this person has done for you in time past and all of that. But don't you think we should allow people make their choices
That's
and we
what we
shouldn't
said.
condemn them? Whenever they have chosen
No,
to
the bottom line remains
regardless of the
we
sentiments or
should
their
never condemn.
interest.
But one thing we must train our minds to be
Okay.
is to be mind that makes decision based on conviction. One of the reasons why we did logic in school
Yeah.
is this: we should be able to argue things logically.
Still, again, it still boils back to the part where I mentioned that when people make decisions and stuff, it's just a reflection of their person.
Of who they are.
So until when they feel like, okay, this is it. If for any reason I have to make a decision, it is because I've been able to look at certain things in my life and say, this is what I want to do.
You know,
It can be tied to
Yorubas would say, "Any Bruno, Ikamo, when it has a phone." And that's the essence of why we should keep talking. You see, the way communication works is that it drops and then it starts growing. It drops on some ground, it is shocked. It drops. So that's why you see a good person can turn a bad person based on communication. A bad person can also become good based on communication. Yes, some people are beyond redemption, but when you have the
I don't think there's
privilege
anybody beyond redemption.
when you have the privilege to talk, please keep talking. And that's what I have always advised. Funny enough, some 10 years ago, 8 years ago, while on air, I say it. Let's keep talking.
All right. Again, Nigerians, the ball is in your court. Yes, it is 2 minutes to 8 on Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is the newspaper review on Women Radio 91.7. The newspaper review is where we get to review the dailies across different Nigerian newspapers, and we get to analyze them together. Send us your comments, your contributions on 070-317-565-37070, 317-565-37 to be a part of the conversation. You can listen live via the website www.wfm917.com. You can download the mobile app to listen live, WFM 917. My name is Esther Alaribi.
And I'm Blessing Agbonita.
Yes, our analyst for the morning is Obide Olaniwaju Lubinko. Do well to send us your comments so we can take them on time. Looking at some of the comments that we have here, this one is from Olushoga Ajayi in Ikorodu. This one says, I think the CBN governor has danced against the tune of his paymasters. I have always known that he will be investigated. Immediately, he came up with the Naira redesign and the withdrawal limit. He obviously crushed some people's illegal means of living and also play into the enemy's hand by buying the presidential form for himself. Talking about the presidential form, Lubinko, recall when the CBN governor got the APC presidential form, domination form, and this one got a lot of people talking. For some reason, that conversation just died down. Not a lot. I'm not sure a lot of Nigerians still remember this one, but back then the conversation was, how is it that a sitting CBN governor is partisan and is able to even pick up the nomination form of a political party wanting to run for office as well? All of that conversation, what happened?
You see, Nigerians, we must smart up. I did an open, I'm doing the 2023 election series, and I released the first series on Sunday. And it was titled "The Hand of Providence."
Okay.
Providence in our polity. God actually loves us as a people, because a lot of things that happen, when you look at the premises that are prepared, the conclusion most time differs from the premises. Like the conclusions of what's happening in our country is always the opposite of the premises. In logic, in philosophy, we call it invalid argument or unsound argument. I think it's just the hand of providence. Someone who ordinarily knows the sensitivity of his office picked up a presidential nomination form. Before he did that, I'm very sure he consulted. And between you and I, he did not consult with you and I.
No.
He probably consulted with part of those who have held us down to where we are. Those who believe some are equal, but some are equal, but some are more equal. Whether he played into their hands or not, it shows the kind of person he is. And then, in their conspiracies, things didn't go the way they wanted. And unfortunately, no head ruled for that. And that is the situation we have in Nigeria. A lot of things that people should be punished for. You see someone who is hungry, who goes to steal biscuits, is lynched to that. But someone who embezzles billions of naira is granted bail with millions of naira. At the end of the day, what happens? Life goes on. And that's what happened here. So, whoever is corrupt, whoever needs to face the music, let them face it. Kukomi. But my prayer, funny enough, I now believe more in prayer. A lot of things happening to us is probably because of the prayer of the faithfuls. And when I talk about the prayer of the faithfuls, it's across all religion that we practice in Nigeria. I mean, that is why, for those of us who still believe in that prayer, please let's keep praying that God open the mind of Nigerians to do what is right.
All right.
Those who had held us down, they probably will never change because it's already a part of them.
Well,
nothing will come out of it, Esther. Yesterday, the CBN governor resumed. There's the allegation that the reason he said he's wanted right now is because the new monetary policy is against some people. And like Babalola said, he said the person that will win this election is probably that person. He's definitely that person, that was his word, who would spend more, who has worked in Nigeria, embezzled enough money, and will spend more. And yes, the vote buying in this coming election might be such as we've never seen before. But irrespective of how much you are giving, 50,000, thank God it's a secret ballot box. Go there. If they give you money, collect. Unfortunately, they won't give me money because they know where I am.
But I mean, I would always say that there's no point accepting money.
You see,
you're going to do it.
The reason is simple. Wisdom is profitable. If you don't collect it, you probably have made some enemies for yourself.
Well, that's another thing.
So be smart. Be smart. And whether we like it or not, every Nigerian needs that money. Because with the start of that,
when it comes to...
You see, this is a money that should ordinarily be in circulation. But some people are using it to buy
somewhere,
to be their slaves. But something that really belongs to us. Yes, I mean, when it comes to moral justification, we want to say, yes, it is wrong.
It's always give you money.
If you collect There are agencies on ground. Do you understand? There are agencies on ground. You can walk up to them. These are the things we need to. For someone like me, if it were me, I will collect and probably make a news of it. Make a news of it as in I publish it.
I think we saw a lot of this.
I think it happened
when you collected money and videos.
Don't just stop there. Mention the names of those who gave it to you.
But don't you think that would be like a bigger problem? Knowing that people made this video, those videos could be traced, their faces in the video.
It is
why
good
don't you save yourself and not collect the money?
It's good for our polity. You know why it's good for our polity? One of the reasons why we keep talking about these things is because those who've done it had always gotten away with it. Okay, so the moment 1-2 persons is apprehended, don't forget that in between 2023 and 2027 there will still be elections conducted in Nigeria. But the precedents we set today will also guide the future elections. So we just need to do things right.
All right, do the right thing. Yes, this message here from Barrister Ogo Osuji. This one says, best of the morning to you, Esther Blessing, and the analyst. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
SPV Gate, as APC spokesman for Atiku Abubakar, has called for Atiku Abubakar's prosecution for treason, remains a matter to many, given the higher offices of corruption in the land, ancient and modern. The king must dance naked in the marketplace, as been exhibited by Tinubu versus Atiku. All of these banters. Then moving on to the burning of the death of the Reverend Father Achi of the Catholic Church in Niger State, and the flashback to the Ondo State massacre in the Catholic Church. All of this put together is sending a strong message to us as Nigerians. Okay, so there's more in your message, Barrister Ogo Osuji. Please, when you send in your message, please, you know some of these comments that should not come. You know already. Thank you so much. Moving on to this one from Additional Waseniko, and he says, on the CBN governor, I have no sympathy for him at all. He deserves whatever is being done to him because he is not a disciplined person. Why will a sitting governor of the CBN collect the form of a political party with the objective of contesting for presidential primary of a political party without resigning? I know that with this change of mind, some people are not happy with him, but to me, they are all birds of the same feather. So yes, by all means, go for it. Obasanjo Muti says, good morning, dear presenters. If the allegations levied against Atiku and Obasanjo by APC is found out to be true, 2 of them should be jailed and all of their wealth confiscated, as they have made Nigerians go through untold hardship just to get wealth. The Youth Messiah have been indicted with more grievous allegations, and all the probing agencies seem to go blind and deaf. If I were the Nigerian electorate, none of the leading candidates or anyone in government since 1960 would get a single vote in the coming election. But Nigerians won't stop being Nigerians. Bad followers will never produce good leaders. Allah bless Nigeria. Nigeria will survive. Okay. This one here from Additional Wasoni Korodu. He also says, on allegations against Atiku Abubakar, either true or false, let me tell you, before Atiku became vice president of Nigeria, he did not have the American invested then and other company that he owns today. It is on record how Atiku sold off Nigerian Access, e.g. Nitel, Nigerian Airways, Nigerian Shipping Line, and so much more. How much is OBJ and Atiku selling this assets for? Okay. Evangelist Shegun Oyedeji says, bless you, my darling sisters, Esther and Blessing, for celebrating and praying for me that much. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Evangelist Shegun Oyedeji, and we wish you more years of happiness. So going into his message, he says, as for our political frontliners in this country, there is no iota of integrity in any of them. What do you expect from such candidates whose campaign head egg is a tout? What has any of them got to offer us whose campaign head office is in the Chatham House? All we have currently are just clowns, comedians, with no concrete strategies to confront our woes. But I hope by divine intervention on behalf of the helpless masses that they will pay for their wickedness. All of these messages put together, you can tell that. So, from two of the messages that we read here, Obasanjo Mutu is saying that nobody who has been in the corridor of power since 1960 deserves to be in office. But for some reason, these are like, we have this different presidential candidates, but the ones we keep hearing about over and over again. So are we actually saying that these other political parties are not doing enough to make themselves relevant to the electorate or trying to engage as much with the electorate? Because we don't really get to hear a lot from these people.
The prominence of office you have determines how well you've been known. Aside it is just the reality. Politics is something you go into building platforms a step at a time. I mean, for the leading front runners, the four leading front runners, they've held political positions one way or the other. I mean, governor, VP, governor, So, and what's actually working for them right now is not their grammar. It's their actions and their inactions while they were in office. That's what's working for all of them. That's about the number one basic thing. And then some other variables when we talk about regionalism and all of that, those are the things working for them. So about the other ones, hopefully when the new government starts, I was listening to a presidential candidate, I think of ADC, one professor, young professor like that. There's nothing wrong in a government of inclusivity, based on talent. So that would also be another avenue for them to really showcase what they can give. So it is what it is. And unfortunately, whether you like it or not, popularity is popularity. You can be popular for the wrong reasons, and you can be popular for the right reasons. So it now depends. These people we are talking about, their popularity is hinged on what? It is for you as the citizen to decide that. And it is for you to also watch the body languages to make your decision. The fact remains, the only reason we are where we are is because some people intentionally preface that we are the base as a people. I've listened to arguments like, I know this person will not perform well, but Abba, it is these people that have been doing it. Let him to do it, even if he won't perform. I've had arguments like, those things you hate, that is jazz. It is jazz. It is used to enchant Nigerians. And I've had arguments that a sound mind with the basic education of good quality primary education and luckily secondary school education won't reason that way. And when you look at our population, those with good quality primary education probably do not take up 15% of our population. And whether you like it or not, the person who reasons foolishly won't agree they're reasoning foolishly. No, because when you see for every argument you see being put forward, it is put forward with what? With this. That's why they say that he who knows not and knows he knows not. That's a very dangerous place to be.
He who knows not and knows he knows not.
He who knows not and thinks he knows.
Okay.
He who knows not and thinks he knows. It's a very dangerous place to be. But he who knows not and knows he knows not will definitely learn. Unfortunately, we have been the situation is so chronic that you hear people, the angle people argue from, it amuses you. It is what it is. So for those that know and know we know, it believes on us to make sure.
Yeah, I'm going to say something to what you said, Esther. I mean, you said, why is it that we have 4 big political parties and other ones are not making waves? No, the mistake, what I've seen so far is that other political parties without having acceptance. I mean, there is, with the little knowledge I have about school unionism, I know that you need to be acceptable. Your party has to be popular. That's another thing. So it boils down to them claiming small spot first off. You don't just come from nowhere and say you want to be the president when people don't know you. So start from the grassroots. How many of them have candidates at the grassroots that they are rooting for? So just come one day and then say your party is CCCC, and then you are presenting this as a presidential candidate, and you want people to vote for you.
No.
You don't need locality.
I think the bottom line is even beyond that. We've come to see in Nigeria that a candidate can make a party popular. The person in question. It all boils down to what have you done in your locality, not the political party. The prominence of every political party is because of the people in support. So that said, when there are some people that actually form political party, even for selfish reason, there's some money they get. There are money they get to campaign. They are not even taking.
There are people who invest.
It's an investment that promises immediate. You see a political party that knows they can't get 2 votes in the country, but they are standing there. They want to negotiate with the big parties. You understand? And at the end of the day, the big party acquire them, and they say they have a coalition of united political parties. You understand what I'm saying? So these factors are also there. But I know of a man, I won't mention his name, very close to me. Funny enough, the political party he formed is even one of the most popular political parties right now. He has gone to form another one, so contesting for president.
Again, it is politics.
Funny thing, I wouldn't be surprised people like that are just there so that, for negotiation purpose, not really because
they want to be there.
Yeah. So whoever is serious politically, one of the reasons you see cross-carpeting, which has tainted a lot of even good image, is because you need to be in the right circle,
of course,
for you to be noticed.
Of course. All right. Thank you so much, Lubinko. Thank you, Blessing, for that. It is 18 minutes past 8 on Government Radio WFM 91.7. And yes, we're reviewing the dailies across different Nigerian newspapers on the newspaper review this morning. Send us your comments, your contributions, 070-317-56537. You can listen live at the website www.wfm917.com. You can download the mobile app to listen live, WFM 917. Yes, looking at some of the messages we have here still, additional Basin Ikorodu says on the allegations that Peter Obi has dual citizenship, if it is true, he is unfit to be a president in this country, because this is the same reason why the elected governor of Bayelsa State under APC was nullified, and the court directed that person who came second in the election should be sworn in as the governor of Bayelsa State. So if it is true that Peter Obi has dual citizenship, he is unfit to be president of Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. Yes, so we have this President Buhari should leave our incoming President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar out of their failed government. Of the fight to finish mantra by their that despite all of these glaring signs, the Nigerian electorate will collect money and still vote electing and voting them. Whoever gave out money and did not win the election may ask for lives in return for the money spent. Not collecting money at all is our only saving grace. Bad followers will never produce good leaders. Okay, thank you so much for your messages. So we're still back at that conversation of not collecting money at all.
It makes sense. I think I would agree to that as well. I would always say, I'm a realist. And like I said, there are some dangers. You see a lot of people, the way they are is because they're actually very hungry. Nigerians are hungry. And it's a dicey one, but just look at every point.
Do not compromise on your values, your person, because yes, you just never can tell. News fly, news travel. You don't know who's saying what about what. I would say do not collect the money if you're being offered anything. I mean, this is my person, my stand. Do not collect the money. I'll tell you to your face, I'm not interested in your money. Because why are you trying to pay me to do something that I should do? Just
Well,
no, I'm just saying what the money is going to do for you by all to do. So yes, as we get to wrap up,
in all of the asset God has blessed me with. So guys, it is our civic responsibility. We've, while I was growing up, I see my parents do a lot of things in this Nigeria. They will go and they will stay days to register for maybe PVC or this national ID card. And you know what they would always say? So that when government wants to share something,
that's what a lot of people actually think.
you understand? Or when my children wants to go to school, they
will not ask them to bring those documents and all. That's why it's available.
You see, that's a lie that was pinned by the politicians of them. Today, we have other lies being spinned. But Nigerians, if in truth your vote does not count, all this expose that we get to hear about every day, we won't be hearing. If it is true that your vote
doesn't count,
they won't be spending this much to buy your vote.
Because if we have 51 and one person doesn't leave to our house to go and vote again, we have 52, and that makes a difference. With you, everybody has a part to different reasons why they make different decisions. Thank you so much, Lebinko, for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure. But before I go, I want to celebrate one of the greatest impact on my life.
Okay.
Today is the birthday of one of the biggest impact in my life. I mean, when you know you have something, but you're not sure whether this is the right way to keep going, and then somebody comes into your life, and they show you like, yes, this is the way of God. That's
like a blueprint.
Yes, I mean,
yes. Happy birthday to you. We celebrate you. I mean, Lebinko has spoken so highly about you. So yes. Happy birthday. We wish you many more years on earth. And yes, for what Lebinko I just mentioned, just maybe one day, one very good day, I'll be able to talk about this particular person, just very one day. But for now, my lips are sealed. All right. Thank you so much for being a part of the Newspaper Review this morning. Do well to join us again tomorrow as we get to review the dailies across different Nigerian newspapers. My name is Esther Alarode.
And I am Blessing Agberutan.
Yes, tomorrow is another day for you to join us. At 9 is the news, at 9, at 5 minutes past 9 is Panorama with the ladies. Good morning.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 07. So that's complete.